Well, hello everybody. I'm going to do a little short video here about my Ironstone collection today. I'm going to ask you to ignore the milk glass pieces in the back. They are milk glass. They are not Ironstone. But what got me going on it today was I went into a thrift store here in Saginaw and I saw this lovely picture and I thought it was something brand new. And it's in perfect condition. And I turned it over, and it is J.G. Meakin pottery. And so it's quite old, and definitely far from being new. So we're going to get in. I got two pieces here that are Meakin. This one, and then this little saucer bowl is another Meakin piece, of course made in England. I have a cheat sheet over here with some notes on it about various manufacturers, and the Meakin pottery was actually manufactured Ironstone throughout the 1800s and into the early 1900s, which they marketed here in the United States as well as South America, Australia, and some British markets. They the picture here, judging by the mark on the bottom, is most likely from the 1880s, 1890s era. The little saucer or bowl would also be in that period. The bowl, the little saucer, as a lot of the pieces I'm going to show you, were found underneath the Old Court Street Bridge here in Saginaw when they tore it down to build the new bridge. My friend Barry Gill Alberg found a phenomenal amount of bottles and china, porcelain, ironstone, and all kinds of tools and what have you that went back to the lumbering area here in Saginaw, which was really from the late 1870s through the early 1890s. So that would put this piece in that time frame. Now we're going to go in the back here. Now this is a master chamber pot. A friend of mine thought it was a cookie or biscuit jar, but it's not. It's a master chamber pot, quite large, as you can see. And this was actually found again by Gill in an old house here in Saginaw that was being torn down. It is from the J.W. Pankhurst and Company, and they manufactured ironstone pottery, and they were located at Hanley, Stoke-on-Trent, Staffordshire, England. And Pankhurst took over the pottery of William Ridgway, who had introduced white granite ware, i.e. Ironstone. And between 1850 and 1851, the pottery operated as the J.W. Pankhurst, until J. Dimmock joined as a partner in that particular company, and that was in 1852, at which point the name was changed from just J.W. Pankhurst to J.W. Pankhurst and Company, and they manufactured pottery from 1850 to 1882, and until they went bankrupt, and subsequently it was sold to the Johnson brothers. Now this master chamber pot hails from, I believe, the late 1870s through about 1882. Again, it would have been in the lumbering industry here in Saginaw that period. And basically what they did with the master chamber pot is the maid or housekeeper or whoever would go around to each room, empty the contents of the smaller chamber pot, something of this nature, into this one, and then they could, dump the whole thing into the outhouse out back. So it's an interesting piece. This picture was also found underneath the Court Street Bridge. It is unmarked. No idea who manufactured it, but a lot of pottery manufacturers did do ironstone. And of course this piece again would be from the lumbering era, late 1870s to early 1890s. Now as we're talking about chamber pots, let me grab my notes here if you don't mind. This chamber pot was made by the J.W. Turner and Sons, and I particularly like the designs on it. It's a very ornate pot, chamber pot, and That was also from here in Saginaw that it was found. The only problem with this piece, but I only paid $1 for it, is that the handle was broken in a couple places and reattached. I don't care for my purposes. It's just a really nice example. And J.W. Turner & Sons was the Victoria Works, Turnstall, Stoke-on-Trent, in jolly old England. And they manufactured Ironstone between 1873 to 1895. Again, precisely the era this would have been here in Saginaw. Again, used by the, in the lumbering era. This was found in Saginaw. This was found again by my friend Gil Alberg. I'm not sure where he found this particular piece, but it was found here in Saginaw. Now here's a nice little bowl. It has some simple decorations on it. It was made by the Beaufort Pottery Company, and is again circa 1880s, and that was manufactured in Liverpool, Ohio, and again found underneath the Court Street Bridge. Nice, interesting little piece because of the history behind it being associated with that dramatic and vital lumber industry. That Saginaw was the lumbering capital of the world at that time. Now here we have two pieces that were done by Wiley & Sons, and this is the mark on the back, on the bottom of this particular, what would you call it? It's a dish, bowl, whatever. Very simple, very plain, as most granite or ironstone was. And then here, this piece is unmarked, but it is again Wiley & Son. They did the bluebird pattern. It's not in very good condition, but for me, again, that doesn't matter. What matters to me is the history behind the piece. Again, from Saginaw, Michigan. Again, from under the Court Street Bridge. Did we do this one? No. This one, this little saucer, or whatever you want to call it, again, oval-shaped, is from the Union Stone China Company. And I could find very next to nothing on that particular company. But again, it would be from that 1880s, time frame. Now back here, this particular one is a Dresden ironstone piece, and underneath that, this larger platter is a Vodny. And Vodny, these are all from the same era that I've been talking about. And both were found again under the Court Street Bridge, as was this piece. It is Royal Ironstone China, warranted, and this is from the same company. Ornate little dish, bowl, whatever. What did I just say that was from? Ooh, everything's fine. It had a chip on it already. Royal Ironstone China. And the Royal Ironstone China, if I can find my notes here real quick, is another one of those that I could find very little information on. So I didn't even make a notation on it because I couldn't find anything. Now also interesting are these cups. They have no handles. This one's unmarked, and this one is from Davenport Pottery. And I was told that they were shipped without handles to cut down on breakage, and that sometimes the handles were supplied to be attached somehow to the to the cup after it arrived to the mercantile to be sold. The Davenport, John Davenport, is said to have sold or to have begun potting in 1785, and he acquired his own pottery at Longout in 1714, and he retired in 1830, and his sons Henry and William carried on until 1835, and the business remained in the family until 1887. So again, falls within that period of time, and again was from underneath the Court Street Bridge. I don't know what these little oval-shaped ones that I've been showing you, what exactly they were used for, but this is another one. It's unmarked except for the numbers Um, hmm, 1866. I don't think that necessarily means a date on it. It could, but I'm just not sure. So basically, well, not basically, in actuality, that is my Ironstone collection so far. Oh, I forgot two pieces. Sorry. This is a more recent piece. It's from the Iroquois China Company, made here in the USA. And a little creamer, more than likely made for restaurant use. And then this little doodad is a miniature. It has no marking on it, but I just thought it was kind of cool to put in with the collection. So that's the collection. Hope you enjoyed looking at it. I'm always keeping my eyes open for pieces to add to it, as is my friend Gil Alberg. Alright, hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you all have a great evening, and God bless you all. Good night.